Good day, one and all. Kathy here with another episode of the Scrap and Crafty Gardener. And today's card is going to be based on this past Friday's Craft Roulette Challenge number 273. If you're not familiar with Craft Roulette, I've got a link in the product description below. Just click on where it says more, and that'll take you to the episode. They spin a wheel every Friday night and tell you what project you need to make, what colors you need to use, and what element and random things you need to throw in your project. So for today, I need to make a lady's card in the colors of a candy wrapper with a belt and camps or camping thrown in there somewhere. All right, so I'm going to make a card for my friend, Miss Marcia, who loves Halloween, and they've got a camper, so I'm going to make a camping Halloween card for her. All right, today I'm going to make a white card, and I've already die cut out my pieces because there's a lot of die cutting involved, so I wanted to get that over. That took about 10 minutes if you're trying to judge. Doing a white card today. This is 10 inches by 7 inches. I scored it at the 5-inch line, folded it, and creased it with my bone folder. And I'm using the Waffle Flower A7 Master Set today to cut out my pieces. So I have a piece of black that is 6.5 by 4.5, a piece of gold mirror that is 6 1/4 by 4 1/4, and a piece of white that is 6 by 4. And those layer together very nicely. And I don't use this A7 set as much as I should because there's literally different sizes in there. All right, so I'm going to start by stamping. I have this little flag. This is from GinaK's Master Layouts 2. And I just want to stamp a greeting. And this is the only stamping I'm going to be doing on this card. And I'm going to be stamping Glowing My Way. This is from Northwoods Rubber Stamps number 211. They're Mason Jar Jacks and Tree with Jack-o'-lantern ornaments. I'm just going to stamp that, and then the stamping will be done. I cut this out first. As I said, I was doing my die cutting, so I wanted to get that out of the way. Let me move that up there a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing here. And it's a little hard to tell if I have this centered, but it's okay if it's not. It just fits on here. And yes, you can do red rubber stamps in your MISTI. And just be careful that you don't put stress on your hinge. That's perfect. All right, so I'm going to take that out, and I'll set that aside to dry and clean this off. Now, if you have a new MISTI and it's under warranty, then don't do that. But if you have old MISTIs like me, go for it because it works great. All right, now I have die cut out a camper and some trees and some bats and some pumpkins. And the tree die, I have no idea where these came from. I just cut out 6 trees, but I think I'm only going to use 3. And then I have this little tiny pumpkin. Again, this is my friend Marcia's Halloween stuff, so I don't know where she got that die, but it's a little tiny pumpkin. And then I'm using Spellbinders. This is Camper Life. And that's the big portion of this card. And then I'm using the bats. I have 3 different size bats, or 4 different size bats here. And these are from Spellbinders, the Boo-Licious Fall Cupcake and Haunted House. And I mixed them together on one, so I couldn't tell you which one, but I'm using the bats from all the sets. All right, I'm going to start by doing a little ink blending just on the card base itself. Because I'm going to set a little bit of a scene if I can. I'm going to start down here by putting some brown and then some green. I'm going to start with Sandy Beach. Brown brush. Kind of want an area where the camper is sitting, because the camper will take up most of this card front. Just a little bit of brown down here. And then I'm going to go in with my green. And I'm going to move these parts over here so I don't disturb them. Got a couple of greens. I think I want to go in with, I'm going to go in with grass green. And I'm going to kind of go in the brown just to give it a toned effect. Now I'm going to start doing a sky, but a night sky. So I'm going to start with some very light sweet corn and keep my colors that I did use separate so that I can record them for you. I'm going to come in with a yellow brush and just do a little sweet corn. Just a little. And now I'm coming in with a brighter yellow wild dandelion. Right. And then I'm coming in with my oranges. I'm going to do some sweet mango. And yeah, it probably looks like a splotchy mess right now. For one, GinaK's inks have a smoothing agent in them. But I'm trying to set a scene of a night sky. And then I'm coming in, I'm going to go with Tangerine Twist. Now, purple. Yeah, purple. Okay. Oh, let's see. I think I'm going to start with Wild Wisteria. Oh, yeah. I like that. And I'm going to come down a little bit into the orange. And I don't think I need another color purple. But I might. I'm going to try a little plum punch on top of it, I think. This gives it more of a, once you get the camper on there, it's going to look like this, the setting sun. No, I don't think I'm going to do plum punch. Just the colors I'm using here. All right. Okay. Now I can set this aside and color all my little pieces parts. I've got some trees. I think I'm just going to use 3 trees. And I want to color these with Jelly Bean Green. As I have a ton of white scraps, so I'm trying to use up my white scraps. And what better way than to use these to ink blend and color your pieces. This way, if you don't have a lot of different colored paper, you can make your own. If all you ever buy is white paper, you can change it into whatever color. You might need a little black, or if you like the mirror cardstock. Now I'm going to add in a little bit of fresh asparagus. This is just a little darker shade. And let's see, I'm going to have it on this side of the trees so that the shadow is coming from this direction. Well, okay. All right, the trees are done. So set those back in there. Now I'm going to color my pumpkins. Now the bats I did cut out of black. I had a few scraps of black. And I'm going to use what's on my brush already for the orange. And then I'm going to come in with a darker color. I'm going to use tomato soup and just add a little bit, just to make them look multicolored. Because pumpkins are not all the same color. All right. See, if you ink blend where you have other colors, it kind of turns a little bit brown, which is why I didn't clean off in between that color, because I wanted that color. And now I'm going to color with browns, so I don't need to clean this off at all, but I'm going to because I don't want orange. I'm going to have a white camper with brown accents. So I need this little piece. This is the top of the camper. This is going to be my belt around the camper. So I do need to color that. And I'm going to make the door and the window in brown. I'm going to use Kraft just to see what color this looks like. And I'll start with the door. Oh, I like that. I think for the, I'll do that for the door and the window. And I want to go a little bit darker for the belt piece down here. I'm going to use warm cocoa. Yeah, that's the color I wanted. I wanted a nice dark chocolate brown. Okay, the only part I have left to color is the awning. I'm just going to go with a light tone of whatever I've left on my brush, which will be a little bit darker than the window, but lighter than the belt and top piece. Okay, all right, I have all my pieces colored now. And I can start putting this together. Looking for where I put the cover for my stamp. All right, I better clean off the ink from my fingers. Don't want to get that on the white. Okay, now I do need to color my wheel, and I'm just going to use a piece of scrap paper for that, because I'm going to color that black with my alcohol ink marker. This is just black. All right, I'll go around the edge. Okay. Now, I'm going to start layering my card together. Okay. And then this is going to go right in the middle of that. I'm going to use my, this will get a faster finish. For the card centers. Okay. Now I'm going to put that together. And with this set, I can use the 1/4 inch strip from Creek Bank Creations, their Lay It Straight tool. Just plop that right down in the corner. Well, it slid on me. Perfect. Okay. Now, I'm going to add in some trees. And I want my tree to stick off the edge just the littlest bit. So this tree I'm going to glue down flat. off the edge of the center panel, but not off the edge of the card. That would make it a little difficult. And this one I'm going to glue down flat also, right beside that. Now I'm going to get, I have some little foam squares here. So I'm going to pop up this other tree just a little bit in front and slightly down. These are very low loft. There's not much height to them at all, but it will allow just a little bit difference in the trees to make it look like you're actually in the woods camping. Come over there. All right. It takes it off so quickly on these things, it's hard to tell unless you stick your finger on it. Maybe I'll empty out my point. Come on. That one's already off. All right. There, that just gives a little bit of dimension to your woods. Now, let's get this camper put together. Now, I cut out the paper from the packaging because when it comes time to put this together, it's kind of hard to remember if you don't use this die every single day. Ooh, sounds like it might be thundering outside. Okay, now this, the window ledge, it has a little bit of an insert where you can put this down inside. But I'm going to glue my window and door down first. Well, that's different. Now this door, the cut will actually pop open. I'm going to leave that flat and shut. All right. Now put the little top on the camper. Okay, now I'm going to put this in. So I'm putting the glue on the inside of that flap. And then this will tuck right down inside here. Now I need my belly band, my belt. So the camper now has its belt on. All right. And this goes on top. And my friend's camper is much bigger than this, but I think she'll like this cute little camper. And that's the, okay, that goes back here. Oh, you know, I didn't color these little pieces. I'm just going to use my brush right here now and get this out real quick. going to use this little corner. And that I do need these to be dark, so I'm going to get that warm cocoa back out. I'll clean that off in a moment. All right. That one will go down here. Yeah, now I'm going to put it here and trim it off. So I'll just put my glue on this piece. I'll trim with my scissors. Put the wheel together. It has 3 parts. And I'm going to leave the 2 parts, 1 part white. You know, and I think I'll add a little brown from my brush. I'll do that up here to the center portion. And then the wheel is going to go kind of like that. I'm also going to use a piece of Scotch tape behind it. Just because it's a little awkward to glue. Put this piece on, and now I can put the camper on and do some more staging. Though I do want to put this up here is where I'm going to put the greeting. I'm just going to use some Scotch tape on this also. Just to hold that on. And then this will be glued down so that, all right, I'm just going to clean off that spot on my, and then the trailer hitch. Now I'll Scotch tape that also. Put a little bit of Scotch tape on there. You can use whatever tape you have. I find Scotch tape is just a handy thing to have in the crafts room. All right, okay. Now the camper is going to sit here in front of the trees. So I want to pop it up just a little bit. No, actually, you know, I don't. Because I want to, I don't. I'm just going to glue this down flat then. Move it up just a little bit because I still want to put my pumpkins down here. Now I'm going to take just a couple, 2 little round dots. And I think I'll do 3. Because I want to put, you know, I don't know where I put my sticker tool. I want this awning to pop up just a little bit. Just like that. And Glowing My Way is going to go on top, but I'm going to take my brown brush again. I think. Hello, brown brush. It should be right in its holder. Gonna pause while I find my brown brush. It was in its old holder. I recently moved how I stored my blending brushes. So I'm just taking whatever brown's still on here and just going on the edges of my sign just to make it kind of look a little weathered. Now I'm going to take a foam strip. Well, don't have my foam strips, so I'll just use some of these taller dots. And I got one stuck to my finger over there. Glowing my way. Be on top. All right. I'm going to add a few little pumpkins down here. Just placing them on now to see what I like. Oh, I did not put the handle on the door. You gotta have a handle on your door to get in. And then put that right there. So I'm just gonna put one little drop of glue. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have one peeking out from behind the tree over here. I know where that one's going. These two I'm going to pop up. Pop up this one. And then tuck that one in behind it. That one is popped up. And then tuck that one in underneath. And this one I'll just glue flat. Okay, now for the size of this, I want my bats to be smaller. I did cut out one of the large bats. I think I'm going to go with these little tiny bats. And I'm going to have one up here, one over here. I only need the two. And I honestly can't believe what I'm going to say next. I don't want to add any more bling. I think the gold accents speak for itself. Okay. Oh, awesome. I kind of like that. This is my card for today. This would even make a nice Southwest theme camping card. All right, let me see if I've met all the parameters. A lady's card, check. This is for my friend who loves Halloween. Colors of a candy wrapper. I went with the fall colors of the M&M wrappers. Check. Element camp. Camps or camping. Yep. And belt. Yep, I put a belt on the camper. That's my belt, and I'm sticking to the story. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Please check out Kraft Roulette. You're absolutely going to love it. And I'll catch you tomorrow. Tomorrow will be just a very short video showing some cards I got in the Kraft Roulette card exchange. That will be the last one until next year of this type. And then I'll be back next Tuesday with a little bit longer video. Again, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day.